Hi y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. I got a request to do my favorite e.l.f. brushes. And now e.l.f. brushes make up the majority of my collection. They didn't make up the majority of my collection until about, I guess about 3 or 4 months ago. Before then, my makeup brush collection was very limited to I guess about 10 different brushes, and those 10 different brushes I've used every single day for every makeup application that I ever did. For a good, I don't think I've bought any brushes within like the last 2 or 3 years. And the ones that I have like from MAC were purchased probably, I'm going to really throw it out there and say 10 years ago. With the exception of several that I bought 2 years ago. I mean, I've been using my brushes for years and years and years. And I stuck with them because you pay a lot of money for your brushes. And I try to take as good of care of them as I can so that they last me. And I've done, pretty good until now. Or I have done pretty good because they still are very functional. Now the e.l.f. ones I discovered on the e.l.f. website. Before I even went to Target. I placed an order online with elf.com, and these brushes, it was like a set of all of them in a zippered case, and I believe it was 11 brushes, and I had like a 50% off coupon code. So when I placed the order for the e.l.f. products and I got those brushes, I got them for 50% off. Now I think they were like $11. Is there? No, I'm sorry, because they're $3. They're the studio line brushes. So I'm going to say it was like somewhere in the $20 range, $20 to $30 range for the set. I think I got them for $11, which is excellent because I got them for 50% off. And now that makes up the majority of my collection, and the majority of the brushes that I now use every single day is probably mostly e.l.f. And hopefully if I take really good care of these also, they will last me as long as my other ones have. Now, these are not replacing any of my other brushes. They still serve their functions, and each of them is, an individual thing that I use it for. But these e.l.f. ones have kind of changed a little bit of the way that I do my makeup because I use them for different things. So as before, I had, a blush brush that I had been using, and I was using that to do my blush and my bronzer and my highlight and whatever, else face powder that I needed to do. And then I would use my powder brush for, my powder and to blend the blushers or bronzers together afterwards and to set. Now that I have so many brushes with the e.l.f. collection, I have individual brushes that serve individual purposes. So, that's the good thing about these e.l.f. brushes is because you can afford to buy them and have them. They are not, I've got a Guerlain brush that is probably like a $70 brush. I've got a Dior brush that is, I think like a $80 brush, but I've had it for years and years and years. So it served its purpose and it was well worth the money that I spent on it. I will not spend that money on brushes now, however. I bought those brushes when I was single and I was living at home, and my parents paid for everything. So now that I am not single, I am married, I have a child, I have a mortgage, I've got, I pay my own car, I pay for, my husband and I pay for everything we have. I don't have the luxury of just saying, hey, you know what, I feel like buying an $80 brush today, I'm going to go and get it. I can't really do that anymore. And I really wouldn't want to, because now, you get older and your money starts serving purposes. And those purposes work to fulfill, a bigger, a larger lifestyle that you lead with your family. So I would rather scrimp on my brushes and afford to do other things with my daughter and my husband than to outright just buy expensive brushes. So no need to talk anymore. I won't ramble anymore. I'll just get into my e.l.f. brushes. Now, like I said, I bought a collection of e.l.f. brushes that came in a zippered case, but I have also bought several at Target that did not come in that case. I purchased separately. So I'm going to try and go through those really quickly okay, I think I got them all. Oop, this one and this one. Okay, so first up, the ones from the dollar line are these four. They're with the white shanks. This is an e.l.f. professional bronzing brush, and I use it exactly for that. It's tapered. You can see the taper on it. I use it to do my bronzer in my C area, which is right along here, to define my cheekbones, and then down to contour the sides of my nose, and a little bit under here to contour my chin. So that one is all I use that for. Before, I used one brush to do this and blush and everything, so now I've got separate ones, and I use that one just for that. This is a e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Looks like this. It's got that kind of a rounded C-shaped. It's not too dense, but it's packed in there. This one I use to create a contour here. Now, this one and what they call the C brush are basically the same. This one's just a little bit smaller, so they serve the same purposes basically though. But this one I use like if I'm doing a dramatic eye look and I need a bunch of different colors, I will use this as a eyeshadow brush to pick up more color so that I don't mix colors. Like if I'm going to do a blue-green eyeshadow, I'll use this for the blue or the green and then a different brush for the other color. So there's those two. This is the defining eye brush. It's angled like that and packed kind of dense. I use that right here. It allows me to do a good V right in here if I roll it along like so. And then this is my brow and comb brush. Now I have never spent very much money on brow and comb brushes. This is one that I had from Target because of this. That's what happens to them, so I don't spend money on this. This one was probably a $2, $3 one that I picked up at Target. To replace this one, because it's so funny, now I just use this when I dye my hair to do my eyebrows also. So that's what that one serves. This is my new one that I use to do my eyebrows. So, and I never really use these to separate. If I get a clump, then I'll use it to separate, but that's all. I just use this to do my eyebrows. Now, these I purchased separate from the set that I got, and I bought these at Target. This is a professional eyeliner brush. They're nylon bristles, and they look like this. And this I use with my Smashbox gel liners to put the liner along and then drag it. So just to line my eye. Works very well for that. And then this is a Smudge Eye Sponge. Looks like that. And I believe this would work really, really well for a smoky eye. I have not used it for a smoky eye yet. What I use this for is to clean up my mascara after I've applied it. If I happen to get the mascara onto my lid or underneath my eyelashes here, I will use it to kind of, pick up the dried mascara, like any smudges that I get. That's what I use that for. Now, this is the set that I got. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 brushes. I believe there was one more, but no, maybe there were just 10. Okay, this is the set that I got that was in the zipper case. And they look like this. And these are all the studio line brushes. And first up is the angled foundation brush. It's nylon, so it does not absorb the foundation or creams that you put on it. And I use that to put foundation on in different areas. This was the C brush that I was talking about, eyeshadow C brush, and I use that just in the crease to create the C or the crease right in here. Works really well for that. This is a e.l.f. concealer brush. I don't use this for concealer because I use a Smashbox brush for concealer. It would work really, really well. It's nylon, so it won't absorb any concealer, and you use it under there. I use this for any cream eyeshadows or wet products that I'm going to use on my lid. So anything with a concealer consistency that I'm going to use as an eyeshadow or an eye base or anything, I'll use that to apply that. This is a e.l.f. small precision brush. Looks like that. Okay. This one I use if I'm doing a dramatic eye look to really, really define my crease, like literally to draw it on. I'll get the pigment on here and then just draw a very thin line here, and it draws, a very, very thin line. So that's what I use that one for. This is a small angled brush. Now this one would be perfect for your eyebrows if you draw your eyebrows on with powder. I use a MAC brush for that looks basically the same. I just have used that one forever, so I'm more comfortable with it. This one I would use for that if, like I said, if you don't have one and you need one, I would use this one for that. And also for eyeliner, or if you're going to, like, let's say you want to do your eyeliner with this brush, you want to put your gel or cream eyeliner on, then you could go back, sorry, I have hair in my mouth. You could go back with a powder in the same color of your liner with this brush to set it on top of the gel. That would work really, really well for that. So this one I don't use too much, but that's what I would use it for if I did. This is the e.l.f. contour brush, and I do use this one a lot. Looks like that. Looks like an oversized pencil, and that's what I do my the deepening of my crease with on the outer edges to darken it. This is a e.l.f. powder brush. Looks like that. A lot of people use this to stipple their makeup on with. I have not used it for that yet because I prefer the nylon bristles on the foundation brush to this. I think it's too dense, and to me it just seems like the foundation would get in between the bristles and stay there. It wouldn't deposit it on your skin the way the nylon bristles do. But this is perfect for powder or a contour if you want like a deep contour along your cheekbones, and then right in here, like your T-zone, to set your makeup with. That's what that one, I use that one for. This is my complexion brush, and I use this one on a daily basis to set my makeup and also to brush away any fallout that I have and to take away my shininess or set my foundation. And I used to use this one, which is just a Target one that I've had for years and years. This one has since been retired. It has now been taken over by my daughter. She loves this one, so now I just stick with this one, and I like it a lot. My blush brush is this one. It's the e.l.f. blush brush, and it's domed and tapered on the sides. And that I use to deposit colored blush, cream, and powder onto the sides of my cheeks for blush. And this one is probably one of my favorite ones. I'd never had a fan brush before, and the set came with a fan brush. And because I have a fan brush now, I can do my highlighter here. You know, your highlighter on the brush, you can do your highlighter here, and here, and perfectly on my forehead, and then, I mean, literally just drag like that, and down into your chest. Works wonders for that. So like I said, because I have an abundance of brushes now, this set has allowed me the opportunity to use each brush for its own separate purpose. Instead of using one brush to do the job of three, I now have 3 brushes that each do separate jobs. So bronzer, blush, and highlight, instead of my old way, which was to use a tapered brush for everything. It's just more beneficial to me. I enjoy it more. It probably isn't that great. I'm sure some people would prefer to have one brush instead of 3. I just like each brush individually and, you know, for the purposes that they serve. Now, would I recommend e.l.f. brushes to other people? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. I would definitely recommend e.l.f. brushes. They are so reasonably priced. You can't beat them. And I really do feel that they do a good job for what you pay for them. They do, I mean, a better job than some of my really expensive brushes do. And, you know, you pay a lot of money for those, so it's a shame. So for the quality that you're getting, they're excellent. I've washed them several times, like several is probably only 2 times, and I've learned to dry them upside down, and I've bought some brush guards from Coastal Scents that I use now to dry them upside down so that they preserve and the moisture doesn't get in here to ruin the brush. And I'll show you what moisture, when you dry, I used to dry my brushes like this. When you dry your brushes like that and the moisture gets in here, the glue comes off. So, to combat that, I now use the brush guards and dry them upside down. So they work really well for that. I don't think, however, that, I shouldn't say I don't think, I just don't know what the longevity of these are going to be because I haven't had them that long. So I really can't tell you, go and buy them, they're going to last you 10 years. Because I haven't had mine for 10 years. I've only had them for 4 to 5 months. Yeah, 5 months max right now. So far they're excellent. They are really, really well. Now next year at this time I will follow up and let you guys know how they're doing then, and hopefully they are great. Because I haven't had any problems with them yet. So yes, I would definitely recommend them to people. I think they're great brushes. I don't know what their lifespan is going to be because I haven't had mine long enough to give you that information. So that's that. And I will do a separate video on my other brushes that I talk about also, so you can see my whole brush collection. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that fulfills your questions as far as e.l.f. brushes are concerned. So if you want to know anything else, or you need any more information, don't hesitate to message me. I don't mind getting messaged, and I try to answer everything that I do get. So thank you, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.